How easily can you talk about sex in your relationship? It might seem insignificant at first, but how easily you can talk openly with your partner about sex is going to have a huge impact on your relationship. In today's video, we're going to be sharing with you 5 unexpected ways that not communicating about sex will be causing havoc for you and your partner, and what you can do about it. Stick around.
Hey there, it's Jody and Reese from Practical Intimacy, real and raw relationship talk for power couples. So there's some really obvious signs that you're not communicating well about sex. Things such as arguing about it, or you're feeling anxious about it, or more obviously that you're just avoiding it altogether. But we're not talking about the obvious signs today. We want to talk about the more unexpected signs that you need to watch out for so that you know whether or not you're having problems communicating in your relationship. Starting with number 1, you're not orgasming.
Now, we are not suggesting that orgasm is the goal or the point of sex. There could be loads of different reasons why you're not orgasming.
But if you're not able to communicate about what you want to actually get you off, then that's going to put a pretty big barrier between you and reaching orgasm. Something that's worth mentioning here is that this is a problem for men, but it is a huge problem for women. So I really want to stress the point of women, don't be afraid to ask for what you want, ask for what you need, and communicate.
As a bit of a pro tip for the guys watching this, something that you can do to support your partner to feel more pleasure is during your sexual experiences together, check in with her. Just straight up ask her, what can I do so you can experience more pleasure? Speaking of guys, the second unexpected sign that you have problems communicating about sex is that you're not lasting as long as you want to. This is a huge source of guilt and shame for so many men, and it's made all the worse by not being able to speak about it. There can be so much pressure to perform during sex. And I know for myself that when I'm not lasting as long as I want to, it's often because I'm pressuring myself to perform, and as a result feeling overwhelmed. So it's been really important for me to be able to just slow down so I don't feel so overwhelmed.
And then a pro tip for women here is being really receptive to your partner if they do need to slow down. And I saw slowing down as a sign that I was doing something wrong. Just as there's things that I need for my body to open and experience pleasure, there's things that my partner needs so that he can open and experience pleasure. Unexpected sign number 3 that you're not communicating about sex is you're watching lots of porn. Now I know this is going to open up a bit of a can of worms. It's a super touchy subject. But first I want to say that porn can be a really healthy expression of your sexuality, and porn can also be a way that we avoid intimacy and avoid some of the challenges that come up, such as talking about it.
So how can you tell the difference if your porn use is a healthy expression of your sexuality, or if it's maybe hiding something darker and deeper? Well, this is where it gets a little tricky, because it's up to you to do that personal inner reflection work and really ask the question, what's motivating my behavior? What's driving me to do this? Is it something that I'm engaging in that feels really good and it fills me up? Or am I doing this to avoid intimacy, to avoid those difficult conversations in asking for what I want? Sign number 4, you're fantasizing about sex. So this probably sounds a little weird at first, right? Fantasy, it should be good. Now, like the last point that we just spoke about, we're not saying it's a bad thing. Fantasizing about sex can be a really great indication of a healthy inner sex life. But if you're spending a lot of time in your mind thinking about certain sexual acts, then it can indicate that you're not really owning your desire and taking responsibility for what it is that you want.
If you feel that fantasizing is enriching your sexuality and your relationship with your partner, then it's probably a really good thing. Keep at it. But if you feel like it's pulling you away from your partner or that you're avoiding something, then there's probably something there that you need to talk about.
Sign number 5 is that you're scared of making your partner feel uncomfortable.
Speaking of uncomfortable conversations, there's lots of tough stuff that we avoid and we end up blaming our partner's low confidence or insecurities. So things such as, I want to be more dominant, but it'll make my partner feel uncomfortable. Or I'd really like my partner to go down on me, but I'm pretty sure they don't like it. Or even something like, I want to be having more sex, but every time I bring it up, my partner gets upset. So these can actually be excuses that we hide behind. Letting your partner get upset is actually an important part of building a healthy, thriving sex life. It's okay to make your partner feel uncomfortable. And quite often we hide behind what our partner is feeling, when in reality it's, I'm not comfortable with being uncomfortable.
The point here is that we often make so many assumptions about what we think our partner will or won't like. They may be true, but more often than not, what we found is that they're completely inaccurate. And so we ask the question, have you even asked them if they're into it or not?
And that all starts with a conversation. So that's why communicating about sex is so very important to keeping it fresh and energized and fulfilling.
So there you have it, 5 unexpected signs you've got problems communicating about sex. Now we would love to hear from you. So the question of the day is, what is the number 1 sex conversation that you need to have? Head on over to the comments section at practicalintimacy.com and let us know.
And if you don't know how to have this conversation, while you're over there, make sure you grab our free mini course that gives you the exact step-by-step process on how to have the tough conversations in your relationship.
Thank you so much for watching, guys, and if you enjoyed this, give us a thumbs up and don't forget to share and subscribe, and we'll see you next time.
Bye! So if there's something that you're fantasizing about and you actually really want to try it in real life, have the courage to open up a conversation and go for it.
Be brave.